guys, how are you? So thank you for coming in, and I wanted to talk about that energy that I was letting you guys know earlier today in Instagram, and it was an energy that you know it felt like the void, but deeper than the void, because it was keeping you like stellar, like just stagnant. Didn't want to move. It's like if you froze up and there was no way of even going about it, because not only your physical self was just frozen in time, your mind was as well, in your motivation, and it's just like everything stopped. Everything was going around you, but you could not move. It's like if you were in a box and everything was clouded over you and there's nowhere to even go. And you did not, I would say that you did not second guess yourself. You just wanted to, like, why is this happening, right? There was not really, it was an energy that we were not familiar with. Even though we try, I try to see, what was behind this. Who was behind this energy? And it's kind of tricky and manipulative, that it's difficult and challenging to overcome something that you're not familiar with, right? And of course, you have to feel the emotions and see from that point on. That's how you navigate. And, at first, of course, it's like, okay, well, it has to deal with the full moon in Aries. And then, it started from there. And then, but it was still not happening. I got rest, and I said, well, I'm not feeling. I would get like little ins and outs of liberation from this energy, but not so much. But I knew that I was such in a standstill and nowhere to move out about. And it felt, with this with the lack of the motivation and this energy, it didn't make me spiral down. It really didn't. It just kept me frozen in time. Not able to move, not do nothing. And then I'm like, okay, so it has to be the energy of my twin. I don't know what he's going through. I don't really look into his energy. I try not to connect with his energy because it just does not resonate with me. It really doesn't. And it looks like if I try to go into it, it just, what is it? Is my bringing into illusions, right? So I just try to stay away from that energy in particular, right? And work on myself, and if it comes, it comes, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. So I was like, okay, well, maybe it's my twins. Maybe they're going through something. And I felt it so much, because usually we do feel each other, the twins' energy. And I'm like, well, man, right? But I kept it like that, and I kept moving forward, right? Even though I had fogness all over me, I just like, okay, well, maybe getting out of the house will assist me with some creativity, because my creativity was blocked, as everything felt blocked. So with that happened, and until this morning, I was really not really overthinking it, but it's like it was really breaking everything down for me. And it's like, okay, so what's going on, right? And the energy that kind of felt was not kind of, it's what I felt was like an authority figure, right? Somebody that is like, it felt much like a Saturn energy. Saturn is kind of like my father figure. But it felt much like that. It's like, no, it's not enough. Keep working on it. And keep working on it. And it also felt like the energy that my twin had and kind of had over me, as, feeling that way, right? It's a feeling that, nothing was ever good. But yet I still had to answer to that person, and, to my father figure. And it's like, oh, it's not enough. Like, how is this not enough? And until that moment that I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to let it go. I don't have to answer to nobody. And when slowly going into those steps, navigating into right there and then the center of, yes, you don't have to, right? You're not anybody lower than this person, and you don't have to answer to that person. They don't need a reason. And especially when you have to, I had to really talk to myself about the pros and the cons of this person, right? And, as the twin flame journey, it was very pronounced as such of a loving relationship. And when you think of love, right, you think of happily ever after, picket fence, beautiful home, kids, right? So you have this whole expectation, but little by little, as more of the twin flame journey goes, the more that you lose that grip on the expectations, right? And so we really had to look at it and really see it for what it is, and what the pros and the cons, more of the cons, were showing us. And it was showing us that it kind of didn't lead to anything, and it always stayed as a stagnant energy, and it never grew from where it was left off, right? And it's like I had to see it as, I do better without you versus with you. And for a lot of twins, I think this was kind of it cracked the code, a little bit of a kind of a smile and move on, because it was, we had to do the numbers. We had to really balance the scales out with this particular person. And even though we would love to have that kind of picture and bring that into reality. And I think that's what we try to do, is bring that manifestation into reality, but saw that there was no improvement, no moving forward, and we just had to really not tell a lie to ourselves, or even bring that illusion that, what if this could be? And I think we had done that so much in this journey that, that little percentage of being optimistic about this twin flame journey, regards to the love aspect, it was just not working. I think we really had to release that and let that go. And with releasing and letting that go, it's like I don't have to answer to you or to your energy. And the energy that the twin flame was really portraying was of a strict authority type of figure. But once you release that attachment from that energy to that person, you see that energy, is a shapeshifter. It's a ball of energy that followed you throughout you can say for years, right? It's however you felt that you were never strong enough, you were never you were never enough, right? And then you had to keep on being better and better and better and better. But the reason that you wanted to be better and better and better is to get some kind of reward, that manifestation, that love that simply did not exist with that person. Could it be that, you manifested this in a way of potentially being that, and what is no longer, right? And really what it really was. So the twin flame dynamic is a lot of different things, and it really rattles you up. And I think until we detach that energy from that person, we can honestly say that you're able to now release that attachment that you had with that person. Now it doesn't feel as much of a power struggle to move forward without your twin flame, right? It brings you to a place of peace, because what was attached to that was that energy. And now that you kind of separated that energy from your twin flame, you are able to heal the rest of that twin flame dynamic, right? On what, picturing that was the only person. And no, it's like, no, I can fulfill and I can be happy. And, my bliss and my fulfillment is to move forward into a place of unity, and that would be unity with the person that I'm vibing, and the person that kind of has the same frequency, right? And I think that was the main thing, is you're always enough. You know, never feel that you're not enough. And if they think that you are not enough, then obviously that person is not for us. And we really it had to bring us to this level of understanding that attraction might be there. And the illusion of the love might have been there. But if no action is taken to give you what you are desiring, then we really have to look into that ourselves